sell them, the average is 100 kwacha one chicken.
Okay.
Yes, I do make my profit,
Okay.
1,000 kwacha. That is my profit before I deduct my expenses. I
Oh.
deduct my expenses. I remain with 750 kwacha. When I
750.
sell more, if there's market, my profit goes more than that. Sometimes I have 850 as a profit after deducting the expenses.
I love that.
Yes,
Okay.
I do my business. Um, Sometimes there's no market at the market where I sell, and I'll do an advertisement. I'll follow people in their offices just to find customers. While as my friends are waiting there for people to come and buy. I go in the offices, I find customers, then I take the chickens there, then they become my customers. So
Mm.
when I see no business at the market, I move, I go advertise in the offices.
So you have
So
a
they
mo.
chicken, and I've got more customers.
Mm.
Yes, I've got more customers on that one. That's my business I do.
Got you.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you sell for the most part. The thing that you sell the most is the chickens, right?
The chickens, yes. The
Now,
slippers, I do them on my extra time, the way you are seeing me. I just do them sometimes when I have customers, maybe I sell three in a week. Yes.
okay, you'll sell about 3 sleepers a week. So how many chickens do you know how many chickens you sell on a daily basis or
Like
weekly?
weekly, it's almost 20 chickens. I do sell 20. Yes.
And
If there's more like a business, I'll reach to a 30 chickens a week.
okay, so let me ask you this. So the 750 that you let
Yes.
some I know sometimes you said that you make 850.
Yes, eight something. Yes.
Since the average is about 750, is that on a
Mm.
daily basis or a weekly basis?
It's on a weekly basis. Yes,
Okay, perfect.
on a weekly basis.
Okay, so the way that you're going about selling it, I absolutely love it. You made your business a mobile business. You're not playing no games. You're not taking no for, and I really,
Yes.
I love that. I can definitely work with that. Now, now we would need to increase it. Well, let me ask you this before you don't have to have the answer to this. It would be great if you did, but you don't have to have the answer to this. Um,
Okay.
does this 750 per week, is that um does that meet your estimated goal, or do you have another goal? Does it
My
does it
goal, I want, yes, my goal, I want to reach buying 40 chickens so that I have at least 1,500 as profit. That's my goal.
okay, all right.
Yes.
500. Okay. All right. So you are definitely just about you're halfway there. So then you would
Yes, I'm halfway. That's the way I feel.
okay. All right. So
Yes.
okay, so that's cool. Now, let me ask you this. What are some things that you can give or you can sell to complement the chicken that you're selling?
Uh,
That they do,
Sometimes, like, the question again?
what are things that you can do to complement the chicken that you're selling? Like, what do you after all this time, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing my business for 5 years now.
Okay, so for 5 years,
Yes.
you've been
Yes.
doing, so within 5 years, you should know the things that they like, that your customers like around the chicken. Like, for instance, what are things that they use to make it? The seasonings, the if they use oils, those oils, even the things that they use to cook the chicken in, those are things. Or like I don't know if they primarily like, okay, like, so, and I know that it's hard to see this when you're going to them, but just try to think for a second as to, or even with you making chicken, what are some of the
Mhm.
things So when somebody comes to the marketplace to get one, let's say they get one of your chickens, right? From you, where do they go to next? Do they go to like a vegetable area or market area? Do they go to a seasoning area? What are certain things that they seem to gravitate to or to go to after purchasing your chicken?
Okay, the other thing is, I think I saw like maybe they would take like the Indians, if an Indian buys, they would want someone to slaughter a chicken for them. So sometimes I'll slaughter a chicken, I prepare it, then I give them. I've done that before. I think that one will also increase in my doing that duty.
Okay, now how often, well, for one, how long does that take for you to do that?
It doesn't take a long time. Within 2-3 minutes, you are done.
Okay, so
Yes.
how often do you offer that for as you know, for a higher price or for a
Yes,
price?
I offer for, yes, I increase like a certain amount.
Okay,
I
so
increase, yes.
How
I
much?
increase the amount.
Yeah, how much?
Sometimes it will come like, if it's 100 kwacha, a chicken, I'll do 115.
115.
That
Okay.
15 kwacha, yes, is for preparing that chicken for a customer.
Okay. All right. So we have 100 and then we have 15. And I want to come up with a way for you to at least bring that price or that
Okay.
that you're selling to try to sell it for 150 to 175. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if 15 is to slaughter it, maybe you could try to move it to 20. You could see if that works. If it doesn't, then go back to 15. Okay.
Okay.
But if you can
Okay.
move that to 20, then that will be a good thing.
Okay.
If you could move already having the chicken at $100 is a good number too. I just want to give you a little wiggle room just in case, because sometimes you have not because you asked. You can't say that what somebody won't pay for, especially if you're offering a service with what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
saying something like maybe selling it for 110 as opposed to 100 might help, but that just like the 15 for slaughtering, if it does not work, stick to 100. But I just want you to kind of like go up a little bit, because your goal is, with every sale, is that 150. Okay, 150 to 175 every sale. That's your goal, right? So if you set that as a goal and you're still doing, I'm trying to get hold on, let me get the calculator. So let's say 150 so yeah, okay, and then with your profit. Okay, so I haven't done all the math, but if you go up to 150 with your sell, then
Okay.
that's 3,000 that you would get, and then you have to minus the profit, to do all the deductions till you get your profit, right? Now, with that being said, now we have to come up with the goal of how do we get you to the 150, right? So if you could go, let's say we do the slaughtering for the 20. You sell it for 110. Let's see what that does. What does that look like? So that's 110, that's 130 right there, right? And is there any way that you could get your hands on basic seasonings? If you're able to have these chickens and to slaughter these chickens, you know how to do all that, then I would even create like a blend of seasonings And it doesn't have to be no crazy type of situation. It could be a blend of seasonings that they can only get from you. Okay. So if you put a blend of seasonings, whether it's, I mean, I love to cook, right? So I don't know how it is with the seasonings over there, but a blend of seasonings for me is definitely onion powder. And do you guys do those types of seasonings there? Or what's some good seasonings that you could possibly get your hands on, even if you can mix it?
Okay, like on that one, where the other to make it 50. Sometimes when I sell the chicken, I slaughter it. They don't get the offals, the inside. I sell them on a separate amount to someone else, not the one, because they don't eat those in. So I'll sell them maybe 15, 20 kwacha. That's just like a packet for the offals for the chickens. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is your homework. You need to figure out a way, because we already over halfway to 150, right? You need to exactly. You need to figure out one more thing that you can do that you could sell. You can sell this as a whole of the 150 of, the seasoning, and when you're selling it, and we can work on how you're selling it later, but when you're selling it, don't necessarily look at it like I need to sell one shot for 150. That can happen. And you kind of got to like get a feel or vibe for whether or not you can do that. Sometimes it's more so making sure that they know that this is available to them if they were to do it, and they would get something else. So maybe if like the seasonings, if you could offer some seasonings and then offer a seasoning that can be included in it, or give the impression that those seasonings are included, that will be a good selling point to get you to the 150. Or maybe, just so you know, maybe one thing you could take off the table, like let's say you add the seasoning and you got to the 150. You don't necessarily have to say, okay, what you're paying for is them slaughtering the chicken. Maybe you can say what they're paying for is the chicken and the seasoning, and you're offering to them, because they paid that 150, for you to slaughter the chicken too. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so your homework is to figure out something else, whether it's seasoning or something else, or oil, different things that they would need to use in order to eat that chicken, to have that chicken on their table.
Yes.
Right? Make a list of every possible thing that they would need. And then once you make that list, figure out on that list what you can add to your market to accommodate that. So that way, as opposed to them going somewhere else for those things, they can get everything they need for that dinner, for that chicken, however long it lasts. They can get everything that they need from you. Okay? Even if you have to partner with somebody, but that's another session. We'll talk about that later. Okay. You just try to figure out what you can bring to your table to make your sales proposition, your sales, your market better. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Who would like to go next?
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm Lukonde Richard. I do my business within the market.
Okay.
Yes, I'm into greens, meaning I do sell fresh vegetables, cucumber, eggplants. Yes, now I need that support to increase my stock because I've been doing the fresh. I want to add some dries like beans and rice. Yes, as you know, vegetables are perishables. So I want also to stock on the dry foods like rice and beans.
How are you storing the cucumbers and the eggplants now?
Come again?
how are you storing it? Like, how are you preserving it?
Okay. I do buy just a little for a day or 2 days because I don't have a refrigerator to keep them all there. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
just buy it. Just
my
little.
question to you is, do you know what your sales are versus how much you're buying it for versus how much you're selling it for?
Yes. Like a bag, a 50 kg bag of cucumbers, it goes up to 300, 150. The price fluctuates. It fluctuates. But when we buy in 2 kgs, we break them. So we sell them into looses, like 1.
Okay.
Yes. We don't sell like on kgs. We just break them down and then sell 1.
Okay. And how much do you sell for? How much do you sell? How much do you charge for one?
One, they also vary. Sometimes they are 1 kwacha, 2 kwacha, even 15 weight.
So it's the difference weight.
Hello?
The difference is the weight of it.
Come again?
What makes the difference in price? The weight.
Size.
Okay. Do they determine that size? I mean, do you sit there, do you like negotiate the price, or do you already have a set price and they choose which one they want?
Yes, they are just hipped, 1 kwacha, 2 kwacha, 3 kwacha, just like that. So the customer chooses where we fix.
Okay. Now, what do you sell the most of? The cucumbers or the eggplants?
Cucumbers.
Oh, cucumbers more. Okay. All right. So you sell the cucumbers at either 1, 2, or 3, and you buy it at 300.
Yes.
And how many do you get for the 300?
Come again?
Around how many do you get for the 300?
So, okay, they vary also, they vary. Sometimes they are big ones, medium, so they vary.
Okay.
Yes.
So how much do you know how much you make in one day?
Finishing the sack, yeah, about 350, 380, up to 400.
So you can make 400 in one day?
Packages, yes. 1. Yes. Cucumber. That's why I'm saying they vary depending on the sizes. I mean, along the puja. Yes. 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 So what was the question? Okay. Number, it depends.
Okay.
Yes, it depends because they are big, small, medium, just like that.
Okay.
But
So
our target is just what we want as a profit.
So what do you know what your goal is? What your daily goal is?
My daily goal is to make sure that I realize what I've spent as my capital in that order. Immediately I get that money, then I can even drop the prices so that they don't slip. Yes.
Okay, so your homework is going to be, you need to figure out what your goal is. And for you, I would start with, you need to have the weekly and monthly goal, but I want you to start with just the daily goal. I want you to figure out what that daily goal is. It is an estimate. It's a roundabout number. You don't have to, like, don't beat yourself up if you do not make that goal that day. but it's better to have an idea as to what that goal is. And just so you know, your goal need to be, I wouldn't even, well, there's two ways, okay? There's two ways that you can make this goal. What I feel that you should do in terms of your goal is figure out how much you want to make for your profit, for that day. I think that you need to start with having both numbers. So you need to know how much, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, this shouldn't be an estimate. This should not be an estimate for the most part. How much you need to make to pay for that product, to pay for the cucumbers, how much what that number looks like for that day that you need to give back. You need to pay for that product. You won't be able to spend any of that. So that comes off the table, but you need to know what that looks like. Have a goal. If you're going to sell 50 that day, 50, I'm not going to say the name of the kwacha. I hope that's, yes. Yes, kwacha. If you're going to sell 50 kwachas that day, you're going to make 50 kwachas that day, then how many cucumber did you need to sell? So if you have a 1, a 2, and a 3, I would choose the 2, right? How many of those two kwacha cucumbers you need to sell to make that $50, right? Now, the $50 that you need to, of course, you need to take out how much you need to spend for those cucumbers, but you need to have an idea as to what your daily goal looks like. Just start there, just with what it looks like. What's going to buy your food for your family that day? What's going to give you that you can go home that day and have something in your pocket? What does that something look like? If it's 20 for you and the rest, and let's say it's 50 altogether, right? And if 30 goes to paying for the product and 20 goes to you, is 20 going to be enough? Is 20 going to buy something? Is 20 going to make a difference? If it's not, then you need to come up to 100 that day. And after you figure out what that number looks like, that's going to make some sort of difference. It doesn't have to make a huge difference. You can build on that to get that huge difference, but figure out what your daily goal is for some difference for that day. And then you can have a better idea as to what that looks like, okay? What you need to do to make that happen. And then we can do little tricks and tools and marketing things that can actually get you to make sure that you meet that goal every day. But we can't do that if you don't know what that goal is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. So do your homework, figure out what your numbers are, make sure that you bring it to the table. Everybody has my email. Send me the email. Let me know that you've accomplished that. There's going to be a lot of people that I'll just come back for, and I'll help you as a group, which is fine. But I want to send me the email so that I know that you're actually working on it. Work on it first. Don't reach out if you didn't work on it, okay? You really need to work on it. I'm telling you right now, I'm very honest. I don't have time to waste your time or waste my time. So if you come to me and you didn't work on it, I'm going to know immediately, and I'm going to tell you, that's nice, but I need you to go back and work on it, okay?
Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Mashekwa Nawa. I'm a marketeer at Shawarma Market. I'm a 30 years old. married woman with 2 children, raising 3 dependents, orphans. On the market, Alani take away selling potatoes, bags of potatoes, chips with the fried chicken, fish, and sausage.
What do you sell the most? Potatoes?
Chips with chicken.
So you sell the chickens the most?
Yes. My chips. Through a day you can put 3 bags.
I can't really hear you.
Yes.
I can hear her, but I can't hear you. If you're translating, I can't hear you.
Okay, I was just trying to. Okay, so we were just discussing. She sells. She has 2 lines of businesses. She sells actual potatoes as potato bags, and then she also has a fast food. So in the fast food, she sells fries and chicken.
Oh, so she cooks it and she sells chicken fries.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
So her cash cow in this case is the fast food side.
Yes.
That's where she sells more as compared to, because in a day she only sells about 3 bags of potatoes, but she sells mainly on the fast food. So what she does is she orders Okay, so she buys 15 bags of potatoes in a week. Then the same potatoes, some she sells as fries, and then some she sells as actual potatoes.
Okay. All right. It's 50 altogether. Okay. Does she know how much she makes on a daily basis?
Kuma potato mwakamba cha 3 bags, bagi moja nzikati. 120, so that's 360. So on the potatoes, she sells 360 per day, 360 kwacha per day. Na kwa kuma chips, 250 yonsa yoni chicken, sausage, fish, vonse pamoja 250. Kuma chips, mumagulisa ma chips yeka chabe na sausage. Okay, so chips and sausage, it is 250. 300. Okay. So on the takeaway side or the fast food, she sells plain fries. In a day, she makes 250. Then if she sells fries and sausage or chicken, she makes 300 on the other side.
Okay, so on the days she sells all of it together, she can make about 300.
No, 300 for the plain fries, just fries. Then if she's selling fries and sausage, she sells 250. So in other words, there are 2.
So
yeah,
if
so if people are just buying fries alone, there are people who just want just fries.
Then it's 250.
My chips are 250.
250.
250, yes. Then 300. There are people who also want fries with sausage or chicken. Then her sales for that line is 300.
Okay, so is it okay? So right now I have 300, I have 250, and I have 360.
360, yes.
Does she make all of that in one day, or is it
one day? Yes.
It's 200.
No, one day.
Huh?
One day.
About 600. Hold on.
It's 250, 360, and 300.
So she makes 910 per day.
Yes.
Now with making 910 per day out of these 50 bags, how much did she pay for the 50 bags?
She is 75 kwacha per bag.
So 75 per bag. Okay. So that's 3,700. Okay. So after 4 days, almost 4.5 days, she makes the money back for that she spent for the 50 bags.
You're 15 years, you're 15 years, must say, I mean, this. I almost like 15, 7 in 1 week. Yes. So she sells all the 15 bags within a week.
Okay. And then, and that's 4 days. So that means that she made
No,
profit.
in every day, Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, sometimes. Okay, no, for 6 days, Monday to Saturday.
Okay, so then for 6 days, so then there's only 2 days that she's making a profit. Roughly about 2 to 2.5 days.
I don't know. I didn't look at it like that.
Okay, because see, for her, if she's making 910 per day, and she had to have made for the 50 bags, that's 3,000, I think it was like 3,700, something like that. That she would need to pay for those 50 bags, right? If she's making 910 per day, that's about 4 days, a little over 4 days that she would have covered that week's worth of bags. And then the rest is profit. So that's let's say 2 days. 2 days. So 9, 10 times 2 is 1820. So 1,820 profit per week is what she.
Yeah, per week, profit in 180. 16. Okay, yeah, it's almost the same because she says it's 1,600, but of course there are other expenses like cooking oil and cooking oil and charcoal. So it comes to her net. She says comes to 1,600. I mean, that much. Some of 1,600. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So within the same range.
We definitely have to do something about these numbers, because if she's putting in all this work, the 16 that she's making, no, we have to do something about this number. She should be able, she's putting it takes time to cook the food. It takes time to, I'm sure, prepare the food and different things of that nature as well. And then she's selling it too. So we need to figure out a way to come up with this, to come up to a higher price. Can you ask her what her weekly goal is?
Okay, you know, the challenge that is here is price. People are very price sensitive, very, very price sensitive. It's very, very competitive. You find that where she's selling from, everyone is doing almost the same thing. So playing with price might be a challenge, unless maybe, because you know, sometimes people don't even, if you put any add-ons, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to push your price up, because the people are very, very price sensitive. So people would rather just get, in most cases, people want the cheapest. So pushing price might be a challenge, and maybe see where she can save, maybe reduce certain costs, like if she buys in bulk, maybe she's able to save on transport and things like that. But pushing price, very, very sensitive market.
I think that it's more, I wasn't suggesting that she pushed up the price, because I don't, on this, because there's different things that she sells, I think it might be a little harder for her to push it up, because then we would have to push it up on, like, let's say she has a menu, then we have to push up the price of all of it. And I don't know, I don't think that she's technically there yet. I think that one thing that I'm hearing, especially because of these 50 bags, I think that it might be the issue may be on distribution in terms of the 50 bags, because what she's paying for these 50 bags of potatoes and what she's getting out of it, that doesn't include the chicken, how much she's paying for the chicken or how much she's paying for the sausage. I
Just to
think
correct,
that
it's 15 potatoes, not 50. 15.
15 bags.
Yes.
Wait. So, okay. So then that's where my numbers are off. So it's 15 bags for, and she's paying how much for each bag?
120. 120 what? 110.
Yeah, that's fine. Adam. As long as you guys are okay with it, I'm fine with it. I'm cool.
Yeah, for you, Chim, I just asked Sonia, because this is really engaging. If you want to stay a little bit longer than our normal cutoff point, I know it might be getting dark, but you probably have a couple more. So let's keep the conversation going, and maybe we'll do one more after this. But again, thanks for Sonia. Such deep and intricate discussions. I love this, by the way, everyone, and it's really helping our program.
Cool. I'm glad. I'm absolutely glad to hear that. Okay, so wait, hold on. So it's 15. It's 15 times, you said 120 or 125?
Right? 15 times 15 bags times 120.
Okay, so that's 1800, right?
Let me just go through.
Because that's a whole different ball game. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah?
Because that would mean that within 2 days, of the first 6 days.
120. Yeah, it's 1800. Yes, 1800.
So within her 2 of her 6 days, she's already made pay for the potatoes. I mean, she didn't pay for the other things like the chicken and the sausage and stuff like that, but
Yes.
she did pay for the potatoes, which is the bulk of the business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then that means that she has 4 days. So within the 4 remaining days, she would have made 3,640, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you made 3,640, then that is definitely a difference. And you're making more than you're putting out. It's like the reverse of the thing, because before when I thought it was 50 bags, then it was like 3,700, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's not gonna work. Okay, so now that it's the reverse, which is a really, really good thing. So now we can look at the well, for one, I want to ask, does she know does this meet her weekly goal?
Yeah, minimum per week. Mama kana target ya minimum mafumo panga de. In fact, this week in mafumo good for net masaka 20 mama chita deja. In my example vena pasa. For example, mama mafumo good sama zingati in a week. Mama mafumo panga zingati. Okay, mama mafuna zingati. Mama ngapati mama mafuna ku na ndarama za bene muli nazo, mama mafuna kusa zingati. For example, mama order 15 de, mache munga funa yangati. So in a day is roughly 24. Okay? In 4 times 6, that's okay. So no, in other words, it's not meeting her expectations, but what she ideally should want to sell 4 a day, 4 bags of potatoes in a day. But currently, because of limited capital, she's only able to do 15, which is roughly 2 or 3 in a day. So otherwise, she ideally should want that. So in other words, based on what she has, I don't know whether we can consider that she's meeting. No, I can't say she's meeting her target because that's not what she said. Yeah, so she's not. But ideally, should want to push it to about 24 bags of potatoes in a week.
Okay. Can you ask me can you ask me what she's doing to sell?
Sorry?
This is very competitive. There's a lot of people that's making these things. What makes
What makes it different? Okay. So munga mbona muti but ndivalipo kusa machips. Nipo watatu. So mumasiana bwanji na banzana. Tabina mumachita, tabine musiani yako na banzana. Okay. Okay, so what she's saying is for her, she ensures that customers, she sells fresh food. She ensures that she makes only what she's able to sell so that nothing slips over. But most people actually just prepare and then hope to sell. Then at the end of the day, the following day you'll still be selling the stuff for the previous day. So for her, she only sells when she makes, for example, she makes 10 packs. When they are done, then she'll make some more. That's what she does.
Sorry, guys.
So
I'm at
in
home.
that case, she's able to guarantee fresh fries at all the time.
Got you. So her hit is that she has the fresh food. She's preparing it. It's prepared on demand type of situation, right?
Yeah, sort of.
All right. All right. So there are a few things that she can do. I don't want to overburden her with the pretty side of things, which is the like the social media and stuff like that. But there are two things that she can do. Okay. So if she's not on social media right now, she would need to get on social media to do one of those things. And it's similar to what
I was first of all checking if she has a smartphone. So only her husband has a smartphone.
Okay. So social media is not going to work right now then.
It is possible because what I actually encourage is, like, for example, for meetings like these meetings, if there are these youngsters who just finished schools and they have smartphones, so we encourage them to attend the meetings, and then now we're also encouraging them to use their smartphones and things like that.
Okay.
So I think she can make a plan with regards to social media.
Okay, so listen. She doesn't have social media right now. That's fine. That means that she's going to have to put her foot to the pavement. So I don't know what time she starts selling, but if
okay, so she opens her store at 6 in the morning and closes at about 8 p.m. In the night.
Wow. Well, honey, we got a lot to work on because that's a lot of time for you to be like, the numbers are better than your profit is better than your loss, but you don't have no time. Like that's almost 12 hours a day. And then when you take into account like trying to get people to buy it, that's a whole nother level. So is she making food for people at 6 in the morning?
Yeah, because where the market is, it's there's a bus stop. So there are bars around. So there are people who actually people who are going for work. Okay, so in the mornings she also serves breakfast. So she makes tea for people.
Oh, so she's just okay. So then she's gonna have to figure out a way to get on social media, especially if her audience is the working people that are on social media and are on these things, then she's going to have to look at this as like it's a restaurant, right? So if it's a restaurant, there are things that you're going to have to do.
I was trying to check if I have any of her pictures of her store. I wanted to, but I don't think I have any.
Okay, so if she sets this up, it sounds like it's set up like a restaurant. She's going to have to offer or come up with creative things to get people there. Now, it could be that she added something to it, or she did a raffle. Don't underestimate giveaways and raffles. They work over and over and over again. No matter what you're selling, people love receiving something. They love getting something. It doesn't matter what it is. They just, it's like, it's the object or the feeling that they get when you win something. It's like, oh, you achieve something. It's like, yeah, okay. And you get their attention that way, right? So it's going to work better with social media. Things like that works better with social media for her to keep doing it or to be consistent. Because I would not suggest that she adds something, or she, even if it's a meal, like if it's one meal, if it's one sausage and fries or one chicken and fries based off of her budget. Right now, her budget looks good enough for her to do a weekly raffle or giveaway where she's giving out at least one. Your budget looks good enough for you to do that, for you to sacrifice that one thing, so that you can get more attention, right? So that's the goal, is to try to get attention to the people that are going to work for breakfast, and for people that are in the middle of the day for lunch, and then the people that are that you can serve for dinner. Do not try to get all of their attention at once. You need to pick the time of day that you sell the most, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And that needs to be the time that you're putting the most energy into getting more people. That would be considered your low hanging fruit, where you can reach them quicker. So if you can reach those people quicker because you've already sold to these people more during this time, then that needs to be the time that you focus on, and you need to come up with some sort of incentive. I'm thinking, I don't know about you. I haven't dug deep enough into your finances for me to tell you that you should do this, but based off of what I know, I think that you could offer some sort of incentive where maybe they're winning lunch. One person, 1 week, is winning lunch that week, or dinner that week. Whatever one sells the most, they've won that 1 week, right? And you're trying to get, the whole point is to get people to come to try to get that, like, if, I don't know about you, but if I'm at work all week and I can get, and then there's one time a week that I'm like, okay, I didn't have to buy this lunch, or I worked all day and I didn't have to buy that dinner once a week, that's a treat for me. It doesn't have to be a whole meal. Maybe if you're getting this many fries, then maybe they won fries that week. And you can do that on a consistent basis where you're giving out the fries, and it gives them the opportunity to whether it's they bought the bag of fries or you made the fries, whichever one sells the most, and it sounds like you making them sells the most, then that needs to be what you're consistently doing. Don't look at it like, oh, I do it once a month. Don't do that. You have to make them feel like you're connecting with them, that you're understanding them, saying things like, hey, you don't have to buy dinner this week. You don't have to buy lunch this week. And have them see themselves, like picture themselves not having to do that, even if it was for 1 day. Sell the story. You're selling the connection in the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So I think that we're at 10:08. I am going to, like, especially if I don't have to put on makeup and do my hair and all that stuff. If I could just turn on the camera, I could do this, Adam. I could do this multiple times. Like, I could be a regular with this, okay? And as long as you guys know that it will be a treat when I'm looking all dolled up. But when I've just shuffled everybody to school and this is what you get, but you will get my head, I can definitely commit to doing this on a consistent basis. so that everybody can get the help. Because I know that there's a lot of people there that I want to help and want the help. So if you're fine with that, Adam, I'm fine with it too.
No, I love it. I love it. We'll work with Chim and all the entrepreneurs there. I know that what we probably need is to figure out the system so that, obviously everyone doesn't need to come every time if it's more smaller doses. And we can kind of have office hours. That was actually part of the vision that we had. And it's great to hear that you're open for that, because I think it will have a great benefit. Chim?
Absolutely, I really do, because you guys have great businesses. As long as you're bringing the energy to the table and you're willing to grow and you have a plan. Please do not come to me without some sort of plan or goal. Like, you need that. That's something you could do at home. Figure out what that is, and then bring me the meat and potatoes, and I will help you figure that out. Okay. All right.
Chim, any thoughts and final words from anyone there?
I think this approach. I think this approach is very practical. I was actually thinking that for like in cases like this, I think next time I'll ensure we have pictures of, for example, now a store. So as we discuss, maybe we can also because I think it adds. We show you where she's trading from. We show you the kind of competition that is there. Then I think it might be so that at least as Sonia is able to understand or just have a feel of what environment that the entrepreneur is in. I think there she'll be able to advise based on the current or the actual environment. I think that's what we'll be doing in future.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, good stuff. Well, like we usually do, we'll go ahead and close out. I don't know if everyone wants to just gather. We might as well get I know we've got a few pictures with you, Sonia, but it's always good to see. I don't know if today you're like, hey, no pictures.
It is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to try to put on my makeup the next time, but it is what it is. It's fine.
No, it's great. Well, does anyone, Jim, I don't know if you want to show the entrepreneurs. Then
anyway, today we had the small number because people were only the people that came through with the graduating people. So most have already left, but I've got a few ladies behind.
Hello.
So the other two ladies will be joining us in the next boot camp.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. Well, glad that you were able to make it, all three of you, and hopefully you learned something today, and we'll continue to do the coaching and mentoring. Let me get, this is a good picture. I'm just gonna get you two in it. I love the side by side. This is awesome. All right. Hold on one more. You blinked, so I gotta take it over. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Good one.
I'm always blinking on photos. I'm telling you, I have photographers frustrated with me because I am always blinking.
No, it's all good. Well, thanks again for joining, and Chim and everyone will catch you on the next one, and let's keep learning, keep growing, and we can't wait to see the progress.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.